Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. This is the lovely look that I created today. It's a beautiful cut crease with some nice glitter and a nude lip with some gloss. And I definitely am loving this highlight. If you guys want to see how I created this look and get my tips and tricks and want to see more, then just keep on watching. Welcome back, lovelies. If you're still with me, let's jump right into it. So I have my eyebrows done right now. That's pretty much all I have. I didn't put anything on my face except moisturizer. I'm going to start today with my eyes, and then afterwards we'll move on to the rest of the face. So today I'm going for like a pink shimmery look, like a cut crease. I'm just winging it, but I have the inspiration in my mind, so I'm just gonna kind of create it as I go. I'm going to be using a few different palettes. One is the Yes Please ColourPop. These are the colors here. And then I'm also going to be using the Jaclyn Hill palette. And then I'm just gonna pick and choose from all of my other little glitters and things like that. So I'm gonna start by priming my eyes. I like to use concealer, so I'm actually using the Tarte Shape Tape. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on. And I'm taking the little beauty blender by Morphe. So I just went to the store today and I noticed that they had a little pack of the two, the big one and the small one, the ones that look like this with the tip. And so I was like sold. I was like, okay, the big one I know I love for the face. The little one I know I'm gonna love for the eyelid and under the eye for concealer. So I had the other one in my basket, just the regular size, because I wanted a brand new one. And then I saw those two and I was like, nope, no, I'm sold. So, and I'm pretty happy with it so far. I also got a lot of different products today in between two stores, Morphe and Sephora. Mainly at Morphe. I kind of broke the bank there, but we won't talk about that. I just get so overwhelmed in Sephora, honestly speaking. I don't know what it is. Maybe because there are so many options. But when I step in Sephora, I'm like, oh my gosh. Does everyone feel that way too, or is it just me? I feel like I don't know what I want. I don't know what to pick. So I went in there saying, okay, I need these 3 items or whatever it was. And so I just went straight to the section and I got in and got out, because if I don't do that, I feel like I get a lot of anxiety in that store. So this is the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder, and I'm just gonna put that on top of my lid. So basically we're setting that concealer with some translucent powder so it doesn't move around. And also when you put on your shadows, it's going to blend a lot easier. So next I'm just going to take a fluffy brush. Any fluffy brush will do, and I'm just going to blend this in a little bit more precisely and also dust away the extra. Okay, now I'm going straight into my shadows that I want. So I took Champs on a B Bella NG323 and I'm going to go straight into the crease, just as my transition shade so that my colors can blend seamlessly. Windshield wiper motions and then also like swirls. You kind of get the feel for it. What I like to do, because I have a hooded eye, is I feel for my crease. Basically, my crease is here, and then I have this extra skin that falls down when I'm looking straight or down. So for me, I have to feel it with the brush and then kind of push a little harder, and then I'm really getting in there. Next, on a little bit smaller brush, this is my Kylie Jenner brush from one of her eyeshadow palettes. I'm going to go into Big Cocktails into that same palette. And I'm just going to get into that crease again, but just a little deeper. And then with that same fluffy brush that I was using before, I'm going to go back and blend these two together. so I avoid any harsh lines. So after that color, I'm going to go into the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to take the shade Hunts, tap off the excess, and then deepen the inside more towards my lid instead of my crease. Deepen that with this darker pink. Back into that same big fluffy brush and blending those lines. So I'm taking my Morphe M506 into that same color. Huntsman, I get you. Hunts. Maybe that wasn't it. I'm taking it into Hunts. And then I personally like to get my crease really prominent because I have a hooded eye, and get really in there and make it darker right in where the natural shadow should be. I personally have to make that shadow, so that's why I'm really focusing in that crease. And I find that when I do that with a really small brush and a deeper shadow, I end up liking the overall look after more because I can see where it's supposed to be. You catch my drift, right? I want to use a little bit of this dark shadow, but I don't want to go too crazy because we all know what happened last time. I went too crazy with dark shadows. Okay. So I'm going to take French Kiss into my Nordstrom blend brush. This is probably my mom's. When I don't have makeup brushes or I'm too lazy to clean my own makeup brushes, I go into my mom's makeup room and I steal them. No, I ask her first, but we share, so that's probably why I have this one. So I'm taking this right into the outer corner, very lightly, because I don't want it to get too dark. But I'm just making this all come together. And the French Kiss was in the ColourPop palette, if I did not mention that. I am bouncing in between the two, so just bear with me. I'll put everything in the description box after this. So after I put French Kiss into the outer corner, I dragged it. I never know the right. I never know how to say that right. I dragged it. No, that's wrong. I drug it. Okay. I swept it across the rest of my crease just to give it a little bit more dimension. And after I did that, all I did was I went back into the Jaclyn Hill palette with Hunts, and all I did was made it blend into each other so it wasn't a really stiff line. And now I'm just continuing, but I don't want to skip steps in case any of you are trying to learn. I love teaching, so I try to make my videos more based on the teaching aspect rather than just you kind of watching what I'm doing and I'm not telling you what I'm using or how I'm doing it. So that is the method to my madness. After I put any shadow down, I love to go back with a fluffy brush and just blend it because you can never blend enough. I'm telling you, it'll save you. It's also a pain in the butt though, right? I absolutely love makeup, but the eyeshadow is probably the tedious part. But hey, it takes practice. It took me a few years to be comfortable and confident, and I used to just put on eyeshadow and take it right off because I was not comfortable with what I created on my lid, or I just put way too much dark shadow and I was like, nope, wipe it off, put a basic pink on, let's get out of the door because I'm already running late. So now I think it's time to do the cut crease. Feeling pretty good with this. So I just picked up this Morphe M421 brush today, and I'm gonna take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer. Put a little bit on my hand so I don't have to keep going back into the container. And then I'm just going to grab a little bit at first. I'm going to take a little bit on my brush and go right into the crease and cut that crease. Cut that crease up, girl. So I'm going into the Jaclyn Hill palette into the shade Sissy. This is my M508 by Morphe. Now I'm going to get some product onto this brush and pack it onto my lid before that concealer dries. That is so pretty. Wow, that is gorgeous. I'm going to go back with the Morphe E17 into Hunts, and I'm just going to give this a little pop, define that crease a little bit more. I'm going to go back into my Morphe 508, back into French Kiss. And I'm going to smooth these edges. Okay, so what I did was I put French Kiss on the outer corner of my eyelid, and then I felt like that was a little bit too brown. So now what I'm going to do is make sure everything is blended out really well, and then I'm gonna clean this corner up, and then I'm going to do the other eye. I'm taking that same Morphe M421 with some of my Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm going to clean up this edge. Okay, so I'm going to do the other eye now. Okay, we are back. So both eyes are done. Now I'm going to do foundation and then the under eye. So while I was on that little short break, I turned the camera off to save battery life, and I did a live video on Instagram. So try it out. Try it out, see how it worked. Okay, I'm using my Lancôme Le Base Pro. This is my oil-free primer. Just gonna let that soak in a little bit. So I have my damp Morphe Beauty Sponge, and I have my Born This Way foundation. This is in the color Snow, which is actually perfect because Snow White is my favorite princess. So that just fits like a glove. So I'm gonna pump this onto the back of my hand. This is also brand new. I just got it today. So we'll see how I like it. I did test it in the store just to make sure it was my color. I've gotten samples of this before, but I've never actually committed to buying it, and I don't know what made me want to buy it this time. I feel like I've been watching a lot of Jaclyn Hill's videos, and I noticed that she uses this product a whole lot. So I wanted to see if it was the right fit for me. I love, love, love applying foundation with this sponge. Honestly, there's nothing better. Pretty impressed right now with this foundation. of how full coverage this is. This side's done, this side's bare. It does say on the bottle that it is medium to full coverage, so it's definitely buildable. I don't think I'm going to need to build, but I do think I'm going to need to warm up my face with some bronzer. Because I tried 2 different shades there, and honestly I probably would have been best buying the 2 shades and mixing them, but that's not realistic, right? You don't want to have to buy 2 shades, you want 1 shade to fit you, but the other shades that I tried were way too dark, or it was like a golden undertone. I don't know if it was like a natural undertone or something else, and then the red undertone. And I'm definitely a red undertone, like my skin is very red. That's why I got the red undertone, and it is a little light, but it's okay because we can definitely fix it with some bronzer. Sometimes, you know, you just have to bronze up the whole face. Sometimes you just bronze up the cheeks. But I'm just gonna keep going. It is a new foundation, so anytime I try a new foundation, I'm a little hesitant. It's definitely looking light on me, but once you go outside and it oxidizes, it could look a totally different way. Or once it soaks into my skin a little bit longer, or I put powder over it. So I'm not gonna jump the gun yet. And I keep going back and forth because I'm a perfectionist. I'm going to do some contouring with my LA Girl Pro Conceal. This is in the shade Dark Cocoa. A little bit here. And we're gonna try to give us a little bit of warmth back into the face, just because that really was light. Looking a little better. We're still getting there though. I'm gonna take some tape, shape tape. Hope I wasn't saying it that way the whole time. I'm taking my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer under my eyes. Bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and my chin, and then a little bit under here. Okay, now I'm going to take that little one and get more concealer blended out. And I'm going to set my under eye before it creases everywhere. Since I feel like I'm really having to work in this concealer, I feel like it's just a little too dry. So I'm going to spray it with my Tatcha. This is the Tatcha Luminous Dewy Skin Mist. Give it a few squirts. And then hopefully that'll help kind of loosen up the product. So I'm also going to bake the sides of my nose. And the bridge. My forehead. Chin. And then I'm just lightly dusting powder everywhere else after that. I'm going to take the same sponge into that translucent powder and gently go over this contour. Then with a fluffy brush, I'm going to take the product that's left in the cap that I put the translucent powder into and dust that along my forehead and my cheeks. Getting ready to apply bronzer. So I like to use the translucent powder on top of all of the liquid products that I use, so that when I go to put powder onto my face, I have powder going onto powder rather than powder going onto a liquid. So if you do a liquid bronzer and then try to put on powder bronzer, I feel like you're gonna find that it's really hard to get that to blend evenly. And a good tip that I have learned from many YouTubers and also myself from trial and error is to put a powder down. You can use regular powder, like face powder, like a MAC powder or Bare Minerals powder, anything like that, but it's going to add more full coverage to your look. It's supposed to be translucent, so it's just adding a light barrier to your skin. So after I do that, I like to go in with my bronzer, which I bought a new one. So I went to Morphe and I got the Brontour. This is the color Stay-Cation, and it has the bronzer, contour, and it is a little bit of a shimmer on there. So I believe you mix the two together because it doesn't say it's a highlighter. I went in there looking for the Morphe bronzers, like the single palettes that Jaclyn Hill was talking about, and they told me that they were only limited edition. That was so sad. I was ready to buy them. Buy them all. I'm just kidding. I was ready to buy a few colors, but she told me no, sorry. And then I asked, well, okay, what's like your closest shade, or what else is like it? Because I, came here for a bronzer. So she showed me these and she said this color is probably the most similar to the one that I was looking for. So I was happy that she was there to help. So we're looking better. So still pretty light in the center, but that's okay. You want the front of your, or center of your face to be lighter to give you contrast. Bronzer is definitely helping. I'm taking a Morphe M164 into my bronzer, Stay-Cation, and I'm going to contour the sides of my nose, and then the tip of the nose. I like to put a little bit on the tip because it makes it look smaller. And then I'm taking that Real Techniques brush and I'm blending this in. There's nothing on the brush, but I'm going to put a little bit of translucent powder on it just to help blend this a little more. want my nose contour pretty light to have a little snatched nose. Now we're going to do some highlight. I'm going to use the High Beam by Benefit, and I'm going to put that onto the back of my hand, and then I'm going to use the little baby sponge. I'm going to spray it, then I'm going to work it in. Then I'm going to take my Ulta Illuminating Powder. This is Yellow Diamond. And my Morphe Y14 brush. And I'm going to add to that Benefit product. Swirl it around. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely. So I was going to use the Lancôme Absolute, but I wanted to do a new product. I feel like if I keep using the same products, you guys are going to get bored. That's not true, but that's how I feel. Beautiful! Okay. I'm going to take a little bit more down the bridge of my nose, and for that, I'm going to use a smaller brush. I'm going to use my Morphe M514 down the bridge of my nose, and on the tip, right there. I feel like the tip gives it like a uplifted effect, and the bridge gives it like a narrowing effect. So I like that. I like what you're working with. Oh, Jayde. What's next? So now I'm going to do the under eye. So I'm going to put a little bit more translucent powder down just in case I creased a little. We'll see. So I'm really loving this translucent powder. Shout out to you, Jaclyn Hill, for recommending it. I love it. Okay, so I'm going to take the same shadows that I used on my upper lid. I'm taking Champs and Big Cocktails from that Yes Please ColourPop shadow. Going right under there, a little bit more. So now I'm taking my Morphe M423 into the Jaclyn Hill palette and into the color Hunts. Really close there. I just picked up this brush today because I knew that I needed a little extra help under the eyes because I was struggling a little bit in my last video. So I was trying to help myself out and get some brand new brushes. Then I'm taking my Morphe M508 and I'm going into the color Jax. Did not use that on the upper lid, but I used something very similar that is a deep purple. And I'm just doing the outer corner. We're just gonna match it to the outer shadow so it all looks seamless. And then I'm gonna dust away that fallout. I'm taking Morphe M421 into the Jaclyn Hill palette into the color Sissy, and I'm gonna put that in the inner corner and match that to the shadow. So now I'm gonna put on my mascara and my falsies. Today I'm going to be using the Iconic House of Lashes Premium Collection. They look like this. So I applied my mascara, lashes, and I touched up a little bit under the eyes because I had a little bit of fallout. So all I did was I took my little Morphe sponge, got some translucent powder on there with this side that's flat, and just made those lines nice and crisp. And now what we're going to do is do the lip. I decided to go with a nude color. So this is the Morphe Virgin Liquid Lipstick, and I'm using the Kylie Cosmetics Dolce K Lip Liner. Now going in with the Morphe Liquid Lip. This is in the shade Virgin. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. I also feel like adding a little bit of gloss, so I'm actually taking this plumping serum. It's by Hard Candy. It is Nude Beach. I'm actually going to follow that on top with the NYX Duo Chromatique. And this is the shade Spring It On, right in the center for a little bit of a pop. And there you have it, guys. This is the finished look. I'd have to say, I am so impressed with myself. I definitely had something in mind, but not this. This is really gorgeous. I'm like shocked that I pulled this off, honestly. I'm shook right now. I'm shook. It's so beautiful. Like, look. My eyes twitching. Look at that glitter. Oh, I also added some glitter. Forgot to mention that. When I went to Morphe, I picked up the Eye Candy Liquid Sugar Base, and it came with 2 glitter pods. This one is Kiss the Season. It's like a pretty, like light pink, I would say. And so yeah, I just added that on top of the cut crease that I created when I was putting on my eyelashes. I just felt like it just needed a little bit more of a pop. So yeah, this is the finished look, guys. Full highlight look right there. Beautiful. I am so beyond grateful that you guys are watching my videos and you guys want to see the looks that I'm creating, and I'm really happy to be creating them for you guys. This is definitely something that I've wanted to do for a long time, is this eyeshadow look right here. And I've been seeing it everywhere. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat, just all over the media, and I've been itching to do it myself. So I think it's absolutely stunning. Highly recommend this look to you guys, and I hope that with my step-by-step process and actually getting into the training aspect of the video, I hope you guys can recreate this look. And if you do, definitely tag me, comment below, give me a shout out, and I'll definitely go look at your videos, look at the look that you created. Like I said before, I want us to be a family, a community, and just be able to come here and share what we love, what is our passion. Stay tuned if you want to see what other looks I have in mind and what's to come. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video.